हेलो एवरीवन, नमस्ते। क्या हाल चाल है आप लोगों के? आई होप यू आर डूइंग रियली वेल। I'm Shruti Tiwari from Top Rankers, and I'm your own coach for your preparation for CMAT. I'm sure you are preparing for all the management entrance exams, and I've been training students for CAT, ZAT, SNAP, and other MBA entrance exams. So this is basically a session specifically planned for preparation of CMAT. All right. आई एम वेरी श्योर कि आपने हमारे जो पहले सेशंस हो चुके हैं, क्वांट के सेशन हुए हैं, मयूर सर ने लिए हैं, नीलम मैम ने आपको काफी अच्छा उसमें डिटेल्ड अंडरस्टैंडिंग दी है कि सीमैट का सिलेबस क्या है, कब से स्टार्ट होने वाला है, व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स यू नीड टू कीप इन माइंड. सो यू हैव ऑलरेडी वॉच दोज sessions. All right. So I am here in the same series. All right. I'll be talking about my area of expertise, and that is the verbal section that is called an English comprehension in CMAT. ठीक है, CMAT में उसे English comprehension कहते हैं. So that's what I'll be talking about, and I'll be sharing a few strategies. I don't say strategies, I would say I'll be sharing my approaches to solve those questions. ठीक है, सारे इंग्लिश के जो क्वेश्चंस हैं 20. लेट मी गिव यू दैट. देखो, दिस इज द ओवरऑल सेक्शनल इंटरफेस ऑफ द एंटायर सेक्शन ऑफ इंग्लिश. ठीक है, तो इंग्लिश में ओवरऑल 100 में से 20 क्वेश्चंस आपके रहेंगे, एंड दिस इज द सिलेबस फॉर दैट. All right. So, largely for past few years, if I talk about, there have been RCs, reading comprehension, error detection, that is the grammar part. ठीक है, तो grammar में अगर हम बात करें, so you'll see error detection, one sentence or maybe four sentences, and you have to identify the error. Then active passive voice के questions, one or two questions, sentence correction, one or two questions, and then larger area अगर आप देखते हो तो it will be of vocabulary. ठीक है, phrasal verbs हैं, homonyms और confusables हैं. जैसे phrasal verbs तो तुम्हें पता ही होगा. ठीक है, there is a verb which is followed by a preposition. जैसे put on, put off, put out, put in. ठीक है, so these have different meaning. All right, and they'll be asking you questions on that. Homonyms या confusables तुम्हें पता है, जैसे जिनकी spellings एक जैसी होती है लेकिन उनका meaning अलग अलग होता है. Illicit, illicit या counsel and counsel, है ना, इनको होमोनिम्स या कंफ्यूजिबल्स बोलते हैं. इनके ऊपर भी एक आध क्वेश्चन आता है. देन वर्ड मीनिंग, स्पेसिफिकली अगर मैं 2023 की बात करूं तो इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, फॉरेन वर्ड्स में उन्होंने फॉपा पूछा था. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फॉपा? क्या होता है मीनिंग फॉपा का? एनी गेसेस? व्हाट इज फॉपा? लव, गुड आफ्टरनून. फॉपा का मतलब होता है अ सोशल ब्लंडर. बेढंगे कपड़े पहन के चले गए कहीं, किसी बहुत एरिस्टोक्रेटिक या रॉयल पार्टी में गए हो और वहां पर बहुत ही बेढंगे से कपड़े पहन गए, सो दैट इज अ सोशल ब्लंडर, अ फोपा. ठीक है, तो इस तरह के वर्ड मीनिंग के क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. वन वर्ड सब्स्टिट्यूशंस और फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स आएंगे. सिनोनिम्स, एंटोनिम्स, एनालॉजीज जो कि रेगुलर फीचर है सीमैट का. इडियम्स के ऊपर काफी सारे क्वेश्चंस हैं. देन सेंटेंस या फिर पैराजम्बल. सेंटेंस जंबल भी आता है सीमैट में, मतलब देयर इज वन सेंटेंस which is divided into four parts, and then you have to arrange those parts to make a complete sentence. It's very simple, very easy to do, and it could even throw questions of parajumble to you, but they are very easy to crack. They are not, TETA type questions of CAT. All right, they are very simple ones. आज का हमारा जो फोकस है वो है रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन के ऊपर, ठीक है. बट लेट मी टेल यू दैट rather than rather than being the very very important part of CMAT, I would say इसमें CAT जैसा बहुत ज्यादा लेवल ऑफ डिफिकल्टी नहीं होता, ठीक है. एंड क्वेश्चंस इफ आई टॉक अबाउट, so I would say that 2023 में या 2022 इवन 2022 2023 में I would say there was only one passage, one RC followed by 4 questions. Out of 20, only 4 questions were there. And before that, if I say 2020 and 21, there were around 4 RCs with 8 to 12 questions. So the number of questions in CMAT, if I talk about only reading comprehension, इनफैक्ट इसको रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन में क्यों कहेंगे, अनसीन पैसेजेस जैसे ही रहते हैं लगभग लगभग, ठीक है. सो इट वुड रेंज फ्रॉम क्वेश्चंस वुड रेंज फ्रॉम 4 to maybe 12 or 8, not more than that, ठीक है. एंड the questions are not very inferential or critical reasoning based the way they were in CAT, ठीक है. They are more direct questions, more questions based on vocabulary. Even in reading comprehension, you will find more questions on vocabulary. All right. They might be asking you what is the meaning of this underlined phrase or underlined, idiom in the passage. Then I would say if you are preparing for CAT 2024 and you are attending this session for CMAT, then I would say that this would be a warm-up exercise for you. All right, because the passages are not that heavy as they are in CAT. And if you've already taken CAT 2023, you've already appeared for maybe ZAT 2023, and CMAT is your last option. All right, then I would say that you don't have to worry at all. You have already faced a lot of bullets, ठीक है. तुमने एक्चुअली बुलेट्स भी नहीं, तुमने तो तोप को फेस किया हुआ है, ठीक है, कैट में. तो CMAT wouldn't be very tough for you. All right, you can very easily prepare for it and you can very easily score very high. But my expectation from you is कि अगर तुमने CAT की preparation already की हुई है, then these 20 questions should be a cakewalk for you. बिल्कुल आराम से easily तुम कर लोगे, ठीक है. और अगर you are only preparing for CMAT and this is your first attempt, then also if you have a little hold on language, थोड़ा भी English में अच्छे हो, then you will be able to do easily from 15 to 17 questions. अच्छा, सबसे अच्छी बात यह है कि there is no sectional time limit here in CMAT, ठीक है. So you can actually save on lot of time. Save time. Because most of the questions are from vocabulary, 7, 8 questions from vocabulary, 4, 5 questions of this grammar, and questions from reading comprehension, and all of them are smooth sail jata hai. So you won't take more than 22 minutes, 20 minutes to 22 minutes maximum, ठीक है. इससे कम ही लगेगा. Most of you will be able to complete this section in maybe 15-17 minutes if you have a little hold on language. So you'll be saving a lot of time, and this time you can devote to the other sections which are challenging, like innovation and entrepreneurship होता है, LR का जो section है जिसमें cases solve करने, you can devote that time. So my suggestion is that if you prepare very well on this section, you'll be able to save on a lot of time, and this is your cash cow. This would be your cash cow. ठीक है, कैश काउ का मतलब क्या होता है? It will be giving you very good profit. All right, the most profitable section I would say of CMAT, जिसमें हींग लगे ना फिटकड़ी रत्न चोखा जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं. ठीक है, you will be saving your time also and you will be very quickly able to solve the questions and get full marks. ठीक है, it is that easy. So I can prove it, obviously, yes, that's what I'm here for. So let's move ahead and do a little bit of warm up exercise for our reading comprehension. So before we start with this is the approach to accuracy in reading comprehension or RCs. I just मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया that this is not the reading comprehension of the level of difficulty of CAT. It is very easy. Questions are direct and options will give you hint, of the correct one. You can choose the correct option very quickly, provided that your vocabulary is a little higher, a little better than the normal. All right. And your reading is good. If you have been reading for 1 hour at least, for maybe 2 months, 3 months, then you'll be able to solve these reading comprehension questions quite easily. So you have ample time in hand right now. You can start your preparation of reading comprehension and you can enhance your vocabulary both by reading. Now, when we approach to reading comprehension in CMAT, my suggestion is don't rush. All right. That means most of you have this, idea at the back of your mind that agar ye unseen passage hai, to why should I read it completely? I should, skip the things, or rather, you believe in skimming rather than reading. All right. So I wouldn't suggest that, for the reason that skimming में हम बहुत कुछ important skip कर जाते हैं. And यहाँ पर हमें इतना time का crunch नहीं है कि हम उसको skim करके आगे बढ़ें. The passages are not very lengthy, not very lengthy. All right, so you don't need to actually save on lot of time. MHCET जैसे जो एग्जाम्स हैं उसमें लेंथी passages होते हैं. Passages might have, 800 words, 850 words, or maybe 600 words. Then you might, uh, have that strategy of skimming, that you read only the important parts and you go for solving the questions. But here you don't have to actually, rush, or you don't have to run through the passage. All right, you can take a pause, you can read the passage at your own pace. That will save a lot of time because passages are short, 3 to 4 paragraphs at max. ठीक है, so उसमें इतना टाइम नहीं लगने वाला कि तुम्हें बहुत ज्यादा जल्दबाजी करनी पड़े. मोर ओवर बाकी के क्वेश्चंस जो हैं दे आर ऑन vocabulary and grammar which will hardly take 30 seconds 40 seconds to solve. ठीक है, तो इतना सारा जो टाइम बचा है वो अल्टीमेटली आप कहाँ पर दोगे? यू हैव 1 passage in hand, 4 questions, or 2 passages in hand, 8 questions. So you can give time. All right. So my suggestion is read the passage at your own pace so that you have proper understanding of the context and you don't go wrong in choosing the options. Read the questions properly. This is something which is very, very important. And I do it all the time. I read the questions first and then I go about reading the passage. All right. Then you should read the questions properly. All right. You should eliminate options. Options eliminate करने के लिए you have to check the context, the tone, and obviously the wordplay distortions which are there in the options. Don't get stuck. अगर कोई क्वेश्चन बहुत टाइम कंज्यूमिंग लग रहा है तुमको, या देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन विच इज बियॉन्ड योर स्कोप, देन प्रोबेबली यू शुड मूव ऑन. यू शुड लीव दैट क्वेश्चन एंड मूव ऑन. अगर 2 ऑप्शंस में कंफ्यूजन है, यू आर स्टक बिटवीन 2 ऑप्शंस, then I would say don't leave the questions. I would say mark and move. ठीक है, बिल्कुल त्रिशंकु जैसे लटके नहीं रहना है. ठीक है, या तो क्वेश्चन समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा है, अगर नहीं आ रहा है तो स्किप दैट क्वेश्चन, मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. लेकिन अगर क्वेश्चन समझ में आ गया, you're stuck between two options, ठीक है, take a deep breath, pick one option which seems more likely to be the correct answer, mark it and move on. Don't spend too much time on any question. Otherwise, it will do a lot of wrong rather than right. It will kill your time first. And second, 100% तो नहीं कहूंगी, लेकिन 80-85% you are sure to mark the wrong answer because you're spending too much of time. You're thinking too much. ठीक है, so rather than doing that, my idea is move on. All right. So these are the 4 strategies we'll follow. Let's move. First, we'll do a little bit of warm up. All right. We'll pick up some small passages from CMAT, PYQs, and then we'll move to the lengthy ones. All right. Are you ready? Any questions you have till now? All right. So let's move on. This is the first passage. I'm giving you a little time. The question is there in front of you. You can read the question and you can read the passage. Then we'll move to discussion. By the time, if you have any questions, you can ask me. It's a tiny RC. Don't take more than 2 minutes for reading this. Okay. Are you done? Give me a thumbs up if you're done, or you can give me the answer to the question if you're done. All right then. Let's have a discussion. What's the question asking? The expression, it is all they can do, in the first sentence conveys the idea of all that. So let's see what the passage is saying. So we have to focus on this part of the passage. Few doctors have any time for the study of philosophy, for their profession is an exacting one, and it is all they can do to keep abreast of its advances. What's the meaning of the sentence, first of all? Is it in the negative tone or is it in positive tone? It is starting with a negative tone. Why? Because it's saying few doctors have any time. Few doctors means not many. ठीक है? That means hardly any. All right. जब भी कोई sentence बोलता है few, not a few. All right. It says I have few chocolates. ठीक है? That means I don't have sufficient. ठीक है? So this is negative in approach. But if I say I have a few chocolates, that means it has positive tone and it means that I don't have many, but I have a few. That means they are sufficient. So it's always in the positive tone. But here the sentence is starting with few doctors. That means it is in not sufficient number. The author is not satisfied with it. All right. So he says, few doctors have any time for the study of philosophy. That means not sufficient number of doctors can get time to study philosophy. For their profession is an exacting one. What is an exacting profession? It is very demanding. An exacting profession or an exacting task is very hard to do, or it requires high level of detailing. All right. And it is all they can do. मतलब यही एक चीज है जो वो जीवन में कर सकते हैं. They can only manage to do what they are doing, that is practicing whatever medicine or medical profession they are in. ठीक है? Because it is so demanding, that it is so exhausting, that they don't get time for anything else in life. All right. What is to keep abreast of? To keep abreast of its advances? Any idea? That means to keep update. To update. To keep oneself updated with the advances in one's profession or probably one's studies. ठीक है? So this sentence is talking about doctors. They hardly have any time. Why? Because their profession is very, very demanding, and all that they can do, matlab all that they can manage to do is to keep abreast of their own professional advances. उनके प्रोफेशन में, मेडिकल प्रोफेशन में जो हो रहा है, बस उतना ही पढ़ लें, वो ही बहुत है उनके लिए. That's what this sentence is talking about. Now this says the expression, it is all they can do, in the first sentence conveys the idea that doctors can manage to do it. Philosophers say it is good for man. Doctors are expected to do, or people today are willing to do. ठीक है? So all that doctors can manage to do. Somehow they are able to manage to do. That is the only thing they are able to do. Philosophers की बात तो यहाँ पर अभी आई ही नहीं है. It is mostly about doctors, so philosophers तो obviously नहीं. Doctors are expected to do. It's not about expecting the doctors to do. It's basically what they can manage to do. And people today are willing to do. So again, we are not talking about people right now. So only doctors. All right. So बेचारे इतने बिजी हैं अपने काम में, इतना उनका काम डिमांडिंग है, that they hardly are able to do anything except read a few things of their own profession. ठीक है? चलो, let's move on. Let's first read the passage completely. What is true of medical science is also true of the whole civilized world. Now he is comparing doctors with the other people of the civilized world. ठीक है? Civilized world मतलब पढ़े लिखे लोग और well cultured people. ठीक है? Men at present are so engrossed in their various occupations, in manufacturing goods, in buying and selling, in accumulating wealth, or in struggling merely to maintain themselves, that they have no time left to wonder what living is all about. So this is the philosophy. What living is all about. Philosophy. How to live life. All right. Phil is love. Sophie or Sopho is wisdom. So love for wisdom or wisdom of living. Why at all you're living is what is called philosophy. What is living is all about. All right. So what this paragraph actually is talking about and giving an example of doctor. Doctor का example देखिए वो बहुत clearly बता रहा है आपको that it is very difficult for people to take out time from their busy schedule to read something or to get involved in study of philosophy. All right. That's what the passage is all about. यहाँ पर ये जो men लिखा है, this is not just about men and excluding women. यहाँ पे कोई फेमिनिज्म और इस तरह की चीजें नहीं हो रही है. यहाँ men represents in general human beings. ठीक है. They are so engrossed in. Engrossed मतलब so involved, डूबे हुए हैं बिल्कुल. ठीक है. In various occupations, in whatever, and accumulating wealth. Accumulate करना मतलब इकट्ठा करना. ठीक है. And they are struggling merely to maintain themselves. Merely to maintain themselves मतलब सिर्फ जीने के लिए ही कमा पा रहे हैं या रोजी रोटी ही कमा पा रहे हैं, उसमें इतना स्ट्रगल है उनकी लाइफ में that they hardly have any time to think about their life or study philosophy. ठीक. Let's move on. Next question. The expression that their profession is an exacting one is best described by which of the following statements? मैंने अभी आपको बताया what is an exacting profession? A profession which is highly demanding. All right. So doctors have to be very precise in their work. Medical science is a well-defined subject. Doctors have a challenging job with hardly any spare time, or medical science is a more exact subject than philosophy. Is it comparing medical science with philosophy? That philosophy is a very general kind of a profession, but medical science is more exact. यहाँ exact का मतलब वो exact precision वाली बात है क्या? So, no, it is not. All right. Medical science is a well-defined subject. Is it about defining the subject precisely? Is that what the passage is talking about here? It is an exacting one. It is talking about being very demanding. So, doctors have a challenging job with hardly any spare time is what is the context of the passage. Although A भी बिल्कुल गलत नहीं है. Doctors have to be very precise in their work. That also can be the meaning. But then that's not the context of the author. Author का context किस sense में है कि बेचारे इतने busy हैं, इतने ज़्यादा उसमें involved हैं that they hardly have any time for philosophy. Okay. And hence the answer should be C. Let's move to the next. The author compares the medical profession with various other occupations in order to show that. Author जो है वो medical profession को दूसरे professions या दूसरे occupations के साथ क्यों compare कर रहा है? Why is the author comparing? Doctors are much more busy than people in other occupations. Doctors have to read a great deal more online than people in other occupations. Study of philosophy is particularly important to doctors, or people in their occupation have no more time to study philosophy than doctors have. What's your answer? Why is the author comparing medical profession with other occupations? Let me give you the paragraph again. See here. Here he is comparing. Why is the author saying this? What is true of medical science is also true of the whole civilized world. Men at present are so engrossed in their various occupations, in manufacturing goods, buying, selling, accumulating wealth, struggling merely to maintain themselves, that they have no time left to wonder what living is all about. तो उसने डॉक्टर के लिए भी यही बोला था कि उनका प्रोफेशन इतना एग्जैक्टिंग है, इतना डिमांडिंग है that they hardly have any time for study of philosophy. And the same thing, he is making a comparison or parallel. We generally say drawing a parallel, okay, between the people in medical science and the people who are in other professions. So now give me the answer now. What could be the appropriate answer? Is he saying that doctors are more busy or busier rather than the people in other occupation? No, he's saying they're equally busy. Doctors have to read a great deal more online. Where is this online? Where is this online word here? बकवास ही बिल्कुल. The study of philosophy is particularly important to doctors. Is he saying that doctors को philosophy ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है पढ़ना, दूसरे लोग ना भी पढ़े तो चल जाएगा? No. People in their occupations have no more time to study philosophy than doctors have. That means जैसे डॉक्टर्स बहुत बिजी हैं वैसे ही दूसरे लोग भी अपने काम में इतने बिजी हैं that they have no time to study philosophy. And that's exactly what the author wants to communicate. Am I making sense? Sure. Now coming to the next passage. Do you want to read the question first? You can. High quality education can help individuals balance between. According to the author, education not only enhances the efficiency of the learner, it also. So the passage is about education and it is talking about some efficiency of the learner. So when you read the passage, you have to focus on that. Mere quantitative expression of education does not deliver the desired results. So somewhere in the passage, quantitative expression of education should have been talked about and you have to focus on that. Let's quickly come to the passage. I give you a little time to read the passage and then we'll discuss the questions. Now you know exactly what you need to read in this passage, all right? You have to find answers to those questions which we have read just now. Okay, let's read it together. Education is not only an instrument for enhancing efficiency, but also an effective tool for augmenting and widening democratic participation and upgrading the overall quality of individuals and society. So education के ऊपर पूरा पैराग्राफ है, ये समझ में आया? This is the topic. Education क्या नहीं है सिर्फ? It's not just instrument for enhancing efficiency. It's not just a technology or it's not just mere a gadget for efficiency that you have efficiency in using your mobile or maybe calculator or laptop. That is not what education is. एक skill सीख लेना is not education, is what it is talking about. It's not just efficiency, all right? It is effective tool for augmenting and widening democratic participation. What is augmenting? Augmenting का मतलब क्या होता है? To increase value of something. किसी भी चीज की, किसी भी वस्तु के मूल्य को बढ़ाना, that is augment. All right? to increase the value or maybe the intensity of certain thing is augmenting. तो यहाँ पर वो किस चीज को बढ़ाने की बात कर रहा है? That education से सिर्फ efficiency नहीं बढ़ती, और क्या होता है? Democratic participation बढ़ता है. What is democratic? प्रजातंत्र, जिसमें हम हैं इंडिया में, ठीक है? So basically we participate in the governance or participate in the happening of the or administration of the city or country we live in. ठीक है? That participation is increased or augmented. Upgrading the overall quality of individuals and society. तो upgrade करना मतलब किस level up करना, ठीक है? किसको? Overall quality of the individual. It is not just the skill part कि किसी एक skill को बहुत अच्छा सीख लिया तो you become well educated. No, you become well trained. All right, but when the author is talking about education, he doesn't only mean the skill part. He also mean the participation of the individuals in the country and overall quality of individual and society as a whole. आपका social जो है participation भी बहुत बढ़ जाता है. That's what the author is saying. Now he is giving example of India. India has a vast population, and to capture the potential demographic dividend, to remove the acute regional, social, and gender imbalances, the government is committed to making concerted efforts to improve the quality of education, as mere quantitative expansion will not deliver the desired results in view of the fast changing domestic and global scenario. काफी लंबा सेंटेंस है ना? So it needs that focus. The author is giving example of India. कह रहा है उसकी vast population है, and to capture the potential demographic dividend. What is demography? Demography का मतलब क्या होता है? Structure of the population. मतलब क्या हुआ स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन? उसमें कितने बूढ़े हैं, कितने जवान हैं, कितने बच्चे हैं, कितने आदमी हैं, कितनी औरतें हैं, कितना वर्किंग पोटेंशियल है, वर्किंग एज में कौन कौन से लोग, कितने परसेंट लोग आ रहे हैं. दिस ऑल कम्स अंडर डेमोग्राफी. ठीक है? और डिविडेंड किसको बोलते हैं? व्हाट इज डिविडेंड? डिविडेंड वर्ड सुना होगा पहले तुमने. इट इज रिवॉर्ड्स गिवन टू द शेयर होल्डर्स. प्रॉफिट का शेयर जो शेयर होल्डर्स के साथ में बांटा जाता है, दैट इज व्हाट्स कॉल्ड डिविडेंड. तो अगर इंडिया को अपनी वास्ट पॉपुलेशन का डेमोग्राफिक डिविडेंड, मतलब उसकी जो स्ट्रक्चर है पॉपुलेशन की, उससे से ज्यादा लाभ लेना है, ज्यादा से ज्यादा प्रॉफिट लेना है, तो व्हाट इंडिया हैज टू डू? It has to remove the acute regional, social and gender imbalances. What is acute? Acute का मतलब यहां पर क्या है? Serious. ठीक है? Something which is serious or very intense. ठीक है? तो हमारे जो regional imbalances हैं, social imbalances हैं, बहुत ज्यादा differences हैं, उन सब से ऊपर उठना पड़ेगा. The government is committed to making concerted efforts. Concerts में कभी गए हो? जहां पर बहुत सारे लोग मिलकर कोई परफॉर्मेंस देते हैं, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? कॉन्सर्ट. ठीक है? जहां पर बहुत सारे जो आर्टिस्ट हैं वो मिलकर कोई इवेंट या कोई जो है परफॉर्मेंस देते हैं, उसको हम बोलते हैं कॉन्सर्ट. तो कॉन्सर्टेड एफर्ट का मतलब यहाँ पर क्या हुआ? बहुत बड़े पैमाने पे सबको मिला जुला कर कोई परफॉर्मेंस देना. ठीक है? आई वुड यूज द वर्ड, इफ यू अलाउ मी, कोलैबोरेट. ठीक है? सो द गवर्नमेंट इज मेकिंग हार्ड एंड सिंसियर एफर्ट्स विथ कोलैबोरेशन. ठीक है? टू इम्प्रूव क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन as near quantitative expansion. तो ये फर्स्ट सेंटेंस से ही उसने इसको ड्रॉ किया है कि सिर्फ इफिशिएंसी या सिर्फ क्वांटिटेटिव एक्सपेंशन ऑफ एजुकेशन नहीं है? व्हाट इज क्वांटिटेटिव एक्सपेंशन? दैट मीन्स एक्सपेंशन ओनली इन नंबर्स, मतलब सिर्फ नंबर ऑफ कॉलेजेस और स्कूल्स बढ़ा देने से गवर्नमेंट का जो है अप्रोच या गवर्नमेंट का जो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है वो पूरा नहीं होता. व्हाट द गवर्नमेंट हैज टू फोकस ऑन इज क्वालिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन rather than the quantity of or the number of schools or colleges. ठीक है? बिकॉज अगर सिर्फ नंबर्स के ऊपर ही फोकस किया, इट विल नॉट डिलीवर द डिजायर्ड रिजल्ट्स इन व्यू ऑफ द फास्ट चेंजिंग डोमेस्टिक एंड ग्लोबल सिनेरियो. ठीक है, तो डोमेस्टिक मतलब लोकल या अपने देश का, और ग्लोबल मतलब वैश्विक, मतलब पूरे दुनिया का. तो दुनिया का भी और इंडिया का भी सिनेरियो बहुत तेजी से चेंज हो रहा है, बहुत तेजी से, फास्ट चेंजिंग. एंड हेंस, to meet this challenge, government has to focus on quality of education rather than number of education or number of education institutions. Am I making sense? Let's move. High quality education can help individuals balance between. किस चीज का बैलेंस होगा हाई क्वालिटी एजुकेशन से? मार्किंग सिस्टम एंड ग्रेडिंग सिस्टम. इज ही टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट? Regional, social and gender differences, the inequalities between rich and the poor. क्या ऑथर ने इसके बारे में बात भी की है? No. The past, the present and the future. Is he talking about past, present and future? Marking system and grading system. So he is not at all talking about it. Let's see. देखो, India has a vast population, and to capture the potential demographic dividend, to remove the acute regional, social, and gender imbalance. So he is not at all talking about the rich and poor divide, or he is not talking about the grading system and the marking system in the schools and colleges. He is not talking about past, present, and future. He is actually talking about regional, social, and gender differences. So very direct question, no brainer actually. Let's move to the next question. According to the author, education not only enhances the efficiency of the learner, it also, so efficiency के साथ में, that means in addition to. So in addition to efficiency or enhancement in the efficiency of the person, education और क्या करती है? According to the author, widens his or her democratic participation, upgrades the overall quality of individual, help in improving society, all of the above. तो ऑथर ने इन तीनों को मेंशन किया है, दैट एजुकेशन इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट एफिशिएंसी, इट्स अबाउट डेमोक्रेटिक पार्टिसिपेशन. उसने वहां पर वर्ड यूज किया है ऑगमेंट, है ना? तो ओवरऑल क्वालिटी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल एंड सोसाइटी उसने बोला है. सो द आंसर इज ऑल ऑफ द अबव. Mere quantitative expressions of education doesn't deliver the desired results. ये उसने कहां बोला है? ये देखो लास्ट में, here. So mere quantitative expansion will not deliver the desired results. Why? In view of the fast changing domestic and global scenario. So education is the overall growth of a person. Fast changing global scenario is challenging. It is duty of the government to improve the quality of education, और people are willing to invest more in education. तो ये तो बिल्कुल ही बकवास हो गया. This has been talked about in the first sentence or the first part, not the last one. So although this is true, but it is not in the context of the question asked, and hence it is wrong. It is duty of government to improve the quality of education. So that he is talking about here, But what is the reason for this? Why is it the duty of government? Why is the government committed to make or improve the quality of education? The reason is that the domestic and global scenario is changing very fast. And hence, the answer is B. ऑलराइट, देखो दो ऑप्शंस में जब आप कंफ्यूज हुए तो आपने क्या किया, आप गए फिर से पैसेज पे, फिर से ध्यान से उसको पढ़ लिया एंड देन यू कंपेयर कि अच्छा बात तो उसने ड्यूटी ऑफ गवर्नमेंट की भी की है और फास्ट चेंजिंग ग्लोबल सिनेरियो की भी बात की है, दोनों की बात की है, लेकिन दिस इज नॉट द रीजन फॉर क्वांटिटेटिव एक्सप्रेशन एंड क्वालिटेटिव इंप्रूवमेंट. व्हाट इज द रीजन? द रीजन इज दैट द सिनेरियो इज चेंजिंग वेरी फास्ट. ठीक है, ऑलराइट. नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द लेंदी वंस. ठीक है, थोड़े लेंदी आरसी सॉल्व करते हैं. अभी तो छोटू छोटू से किए थे, ठीक है, सो इट वाज इजी टू गो, बट बिलीव मी यू विल गेट समथिंग सिमिलर इन सीमैट. ऑलराइट, और लेंदी वंस भी सॉल्व करके देख लेते हैं, तुम्हारे सारे मुगालते दूर हो जाएंगे. लार्जली द क्वेश्चंस आर डायरेक्ट. ऑलराइट, you just have to have good confidence in reading. If you're a good reader, no problem at all. All right, let's move on. Let's first focus on the questions and then we'll move to the passage. The meaning and definition of religion depends upon. So there should be somewhere the context of meaning and definition of religion. We have to focus on that. In which tradition religion is seen as a response to the experience of the natural powers. तो कोई ट्रेडिशन के बारे में बात हो रही होगी जहां पर नेचुरल पावर्स की बात हो रही है, वहां पर फोकस करना है. Which of the phrases is closest in meaning to etymology? ठीक है, इस वर्ड से कौन सा ऑप्शन रिलेट करता है? Which of these statements is or are correct with the reference to the above passage? So this is an indirect question. Passage पढ़ेंगे फिर करेंगे. ठीक है, so let's move on to the passage now. So I have divided the passage into two screens and I'm giving you ample time to read. All right. Once you're done, just give me a thumbs up. I'll move to the next screen. We have read the questions. Now it's time to read the passage. Or if you say, we'll read it together. No problem at all. This RC is, I suppose, a recent one. ये 2023 के CMAT का है, slot 2 का, if I'm not wrong. Hi, Gurkirat. Beta, you are a little late in joining. I have already talked about this in the initial part of this session. All right. CAT और CMAT दोनों के RCs बहुत different होते हैं. If you have already prepared for CAT 2023, CMAT RC is a cakewalk for you. All right. Questions are not very indirect or inferential the way they are in CAT. All right. And the passages are also not very difficult to comprehend, only that they expect you to be a good reader, a voracious reader, in the sense that you should be able to comprehend the passage properly. All right. I hope I've answered your query. Shall we read together? All right, so let's do it. What is religion? A very complex question. We know religion and we live religion, We know religion and we live religion. But how do we explain or define religion? Religion is one of the most sensitive and vulnerable aspect of human life from the very beginning. What is vulnerable? Vulnerable is prone to risk. बहुत नाजुक मुद्दा है ह्यूमन बीइंग्स की लाइफ का. क्या? रिलीजन. इट इज वेरी सेंसिटिव. ठीक है, हमारे दिल के बहुत ज्यादा करीब होता है रिलीजन. सो लॉट ऑफ इमोशंस आर इन्वॉल्व इन दैट. ऑलराइट. Though it looks simple, it is not a simple reality to be easily defined or explained. So यहाँ पर वो अपनी ही बात को कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट कर रहा है, कह रहा है इतना सिंपल लगता है लेकिन होता नहीं है रियलिटी में रिलीजन को एक्सप्लेन करना या डिफाइन करना. Why he is saying that? There are many theories proposed regarding the origin of religion as a result of the development of speculative, intellectual and scientific mind. What is speculative? Speculative का मतलब क्या होता है? Something which is based on theory, something which is based on your guesswork. ठीक है, हम guess कर रहे हैं कि ऐसा हो सकता है, अंदाजा लगा रहे हैं. ठीक है. Hello Ved Prakash, good afternoon. So basically it is speculative का मतलब हम किसी चीज का अनुमान लगा रहे हैं, अंदाजा लगा रहे हैं. ठीक है, हमारे पास उसका प्रैक्टिकल कोई सबूत नहीं है. दैट इज कॉल्ड स्पेक्युलेटिव. सो ही सेज दैट देयर आर मेनी थियोरीज. ऑलराइट, थियोरी मतलब सिद्धांत. ठीक है, जो कि बहुत सारे रिलीजन्स के आए हैं. ओरिजिन ऑफ रिलीजन के बहुत सारी थ्योरीज है. बिकॉज ऑफ स्पेक्युलेटिव, इंटेलेक्चुअल मतलब जो कि बुद्धि से रिलेट करते हैं, ज्ञान से रिलेट करते हैं, एंड साइंटिफिक माइंड्स. ठीक है, समथिंग विच इज बेस्ड ऑन empirical studies or practical studies. That is what is called scientific mind. तो ये तीनों ही लेवल्स पे रिलीजन के ओरिजिन को डिफाइन किया जाता है या थ्योरी उसके ऊपर बनाई हुई है जो कि अलग अलग है. ठीक है. However, in spite of the differences in the understanding of this important element, it is confirmed that it is purely a human activity. It is confirmed that it is purely a human activity. Animals के पास में religion नहीं होता. And it has become an inevitable aspect of human life. What is inevitable? Something you cannot do without. It has to be there. ठीक है, so it is inevitable aspect of human life. In the West, under the influence of the inherited tradition of Judo-Christian tradition. Remember, इसके ऊपर एक question है, हमने अभी पढ़ा. तो ये हमको उसका आंसर मिल गया. ठीक है, इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ इनहेरिटेड ट्रेडिशन ऑफ जूडो क्रिश्चियन ट्रेडिशन. रिलीजन वाज अंडरस्टूड मोर थियस्टिकली. व्हाट इज थियस्टिकली? थियोलॉजी का मतलब मालूम है? थियो का मतलब पता है? थियो का मतलब होता है गॉड. सो व्हेनेवर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट थियोलॉजी और थियस्टिकल और थियोसॉफी, we are actually talking about God. ठीक है. So theistically that means something, a belief for God. ठीक है. While in the East it was mostly a response to the experience of the natural powers. So West में inherited tradition of Judo Christians में religion was understood as more theory based, more of a belief of God. ठीक है, it is more of a belief of God. But East में क्या है? It was mostly a response to the experience of natural power. It is not just a theory or a make believe. It is the experience of the human beings. ठीक है, that are beyond human control and also to the inner urge for an ethical and moral reference. All right. Let's move to the next paragraph now. etymologically, what is this word etymology? इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन भी है एक. etymology मालूम है क्या होता है इसका मतलब? origin of words or maybe expressions. A study which involves origin or birth of a word. वो word कैसे आया, कैसे बना, उसका क्या root है, कहाँ से वो आया, कैसे वो प्रचलन में आया. This is all studied in etymology. All right. So etymologically, the word religion is derived from the Latin root religer. That means to bind fast. Then religion has certainly a strong emphasis on community aspect. It is religion is basically for community, to bind the community. ठीक है? It is something that binds fast the members of it together. When we start thinking seriously on religion, naturally we fall upon thoughts of the definition of religion. There are numberless definitions of religion. ये उसने रिपीट किया, पिछले पैराग्राफ में भी उसने यही कहा था कि अलग अलग एस्पेक्ट से रिलीजन की अलग अलग डेफिनेशन और थ्योरीज आती हैं. यहाँ पर भी वो यही कह रहा है कि अनगिनत डेफिनेशंस हैं रिलीजन की. ठीक है. द मीनिंग एंड डेफिनेशन ऑफ रिलीजन डिफर्स अकॉर्डिंग टू सोशियो कल्चरल and psychological background of the person who reflects upon it. Even the political setting exerts its influence on the understanding of the meaning of religion. Some of the definitions are phenomenological. Okay, now what is a phenomenological? Phenomena मतलब मालूम है क्या होता है? Event. So phenomenological, logic का मतलब होता है study. So phenomenological मतलब study based on some kind of experience. Okay. So जो religion है उसकी definition, कुछ definitions जो है वो they are based on experience which is experienced by the human beings throughout their life, whatever they have had in their life, what the kind of experiences they have gone through, good, bad, ugly, miraculous, whatever. तो कुछ definitions जो हैं they are phenomenological and try to expose the common element that we see in the acknowledged world religion. तो वर्ल्ड के बहुत सारे जो रिलीजन्स हैं जिनको हमने एक्नॉलेज किया है मतलब वो बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट है, हम उनको रिकग्नाइज करते हैं, हम उन्हें सम्मान देते हैं. ठीक है. तो वो उनकी जो डेफिनेशन है वो बेसिकली एक्सपीरियंस के ऊपर है, ना कि सिर्फ मेक बिलीव के ऊपर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द ह्यूमन रिकग्निशन ऑफ अ सुपर ह्यूमन पावर एंटाइटल्ड टू ओबीडियंस एंड वर्शिप. Some others are interpretative definitions. तो यहां पर वो उनको कंपेयर कर रहा है. Okay, so this is all about the passage. 2 ही पैराग्राफ्स हैं. ठीक है. I hope हमने सही डिस्कस किया. अब हम क्वेश्चंस के ऊपर आते हैं. The meaning and definition of religion depends upon following factors. Now, मुझे बताओ कौन कौन से फैक्टर्स ऑथर ने बोले हैं. Have a look. क्या बोल रहा है, कौन कौन से फैक्टर्स बता रहा है वो? Even political and phenomenological. ठीक है. So socio-cultural, yes. Political, yes. Psychological, yes. Phenomenological, yes. So the answer is D. ठीक है. बिल्कुल लड्डू है. Next question. In which tradition religion is seen as a response to the experience of the natural powers? कौन सा वाला? Natural powers के लिए Let's go to the sentence. In the West, under the influence of inherited tradition of Judeo-Christian tradition, religion was understood more theistically, matlab more based on belief of God. While in the East, it was mostly a response to the experience of natural powers that are beyond human control. अब क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा है? In which tradition religion is seen as a response to the experience of natural powers? तो वेस्टर्न ट्रेडिशन आएगा क्या? ऑब्वियसली नो, क्योंकि इनका तो क्या है? थेइस्ट है, ये बिलीफ के ऊपर है। इंडो वेस्टर्न के ऊपर तो उसने बात ही नहीं की। क्रिश्चियन और जूडो क्रिश्चियन के ऊपर बात की है, लेकिन अगेन ये क्या है? थेस्टिकल है, बिलीफ के ऊपर है। द ओनली थिंग विच इज टॉकिंग अबाउट experience of natural power is Eastern tradition. All right. Any doubt? Which of the phrases is closest in meaning to etymology? अभी मैंने ये word का meaning बताया तुमको. What is etymology? Origin of ideas and thoughts, origin of religion, origin of human life, origin of words and their meanings. So this is the dictionary definition of etymology. Etymology का मतलब study of origin of words and their meanings. ठीक है? तो अगर ये word पता है तो ये बहुत आराम से आप आंसर कर सकते हो. You can move. Which of these statements is or are correct with reference to the above passage? Religion is one of the most sensitive aspects of human life form. Religion is purely a human activity. Religion doesn't bind the members of community together. ये थोड़ा गड़बड़ हो गया. देखें? देखो, ये हमने passage में पढ़ा. Religion is one of the most sensitive, vulnerable aspect of human life. फिर वो कह रहा है, it is confirmed that it is purely a human activity and it is an inevitable aspect of human life. लेकिन फिर वो ये भी बोल रहा है that religion means to bind. ठीक है? And basically religion जो है उसका usage है to bind. So सी वाला जो ऑप्शन है वो गलत है, बाकी दोनों सही है. इट इज प्योरली ह्यूमन एक्टिविटी. किसी एनिमल को रिलीजन की जरूरत नहीं होती. एंड इट इज द मोस्ट सेंसिटिव एस्पेक्ट ऑफ ह्यूमन लाइफ. सो बोथ ए एंड बी आर करेक्ट. आई होप आई एम मेकिंग सम सेंस टू यू. एंड बार बार ये चीज प्रूव हो रही है, ठीक है, दैट सीमैट के पैसेजेस कैट के पैसेजेस के जैसे बहुत डिफिकल्ट टू इन्फर या कॉम्प्रिहेंड नहीं होते. द क्वेश्चंस आर आल्सो डायरेक्ट एंड यू कैन वेरी क्विकली एलिमिनेट ऑप्शंस टू कम टू द राइट आंसर, provided that you don't waste too much of time and provided that you have the habit of reading every day at least for an hour. All right, let's move on. एक passage और कर लें quickly. Give me a thumbs up if you want to continue with one more passage. Otherwise, I'll end the session. If you want me to continue, give me a thumbs up. अगर तुम कैट के लिए प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी गुड वार्म अप एक्सरसाइज फॉर यू. क्योंकि बस इसके नेक्स्ट लेवल पे ही जाना है कैट में. अगर ये अच्छे से करते आ गया, यू विल बी एबल टू सेल थ्रू CMAT. ठीक है, यू विल बी एबल टू prepare yourself for the currents of, or if I say whirlpool of CAT. Okay, so let's move to the next passage. One more passage and we'll end up the session. My purpose is that with this practice, you should be able to ace the reading comprehension part. Very quickly, you should be able to solve the questions. 4 questions in 5 minutes. फायदे का सौदा है, घाटे का सौदा नहीं है. Believe me. All right? Just bear with me. All right. So first read the questions. Match each of the following. So this is pretty direct but data based. Mega cities are classified according to, तो जहां पर भी मेगा सिटीज है वहां ध्यान देना है. Indicate which of the two statements in the following pairs contain a main idea and which contains supporting details. So we have to identify the main idea of the passage. What does the phrasal verb let up means in the first sentence? So first sentence के ऊपर ही एक question दिया हुआ है. Let's read the passage now. Okay, should I give you time or shall we read it together? What do you say? All right. So the passage is about urbanization. The demographic, I already have discussed this word just now with you. What is demography? The structure of the population. So urbanization, the demographic shift from country to city. यहाँ पर country का मतलब देश नहीं है, यहाँ पर country का मतलब village. Countryside बोलते हैं ना हम लोग. Country is village. So urbanization, the demographic shift from country to city, began with industrialization and it has not let up. What do you mean by let up here? Something which is not very welcoming, which is very unpleasant, but it is still going on with the high intensity. Okay. For example, I say the pressure of exams or the pressure of competitive exams continues without any let up. CAT हो गया, ZAT हो गया. Now still there is pressure of CMAT. So it is consistently going on. ठीक है, फिर अगर एग्जाम क्लियर भी हो गया, then you have to prepare for GD interview, WAT, that is writing assessment test. So the pressure is not let up. ठीक है, इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन है, इसीलिए मैं इतना डिस्कस कर रही हूँ इसको. In 1900, fewer than 15% of the world's population lived in cities. 50 years later, that number has doubled to 30% of the world's population of 750 million. By 2000, 2.9 billion people, or 47% of the world's population, were living in urban areas, with the greatest growth occurring in Africa, Asia, and Latin America. In 2007, for the first time in history, the urban population exceeded 50%, and by 2050, according to World Health Organization, that is WHO, 7 out of 10 people will call urban areas home. That means it will go up to as good as 70%. Contrary to common belief, fewer than 10% of urban dwellers are residents of mega cities. तो urban population तो बढ़ रही है, लेकिन fewer than 10% of urban dwellers are residents of mega cities with population of over 10 million. अब ये mega city क्या है? A mega city consists of the city proper and its adjoining suburban centers. तो जो एक सिटी है वो जैसे स्प्रॉल करती है, जिसको हम बोलते हैं अर्बन स्प्रॉल, चारों दिशाओं से वो फूलता चला जा रहा है, देयर इज अ स्वेलिंग इन द पॉपुलेशन। सो आसपास के जो सबर्बन एरियाज हैं, स्मॉल टाउन्स हैं, वो भी सारे सिटी के साथ में इंक्लूड होते चले जाते हैं, और वो सिटी जो है वो एक मेगा सिटी बन जाती है। So he is giving you that example also. An example is New York, Newark aggregation, which in 1950 was the world's only megacity. By 2011, it was the sixth largest of 21 megacities. Okay, so with this passage of time, so many megacities have evolved. Population of Greater Tokyo, the world's largest urban area and home to 36.7 million residents, is forecast to exceed 37 million by 2020. Megacities like Mumbai, Delhi, Dhaka, Lagos, which do not yet appear on the top 10 list, are steadily moving up the ladder. Moving up the ladder मतलब पायदान पे आगे बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, मतलब उनके पॉपुलेशन के हिसाब से वो और ज्यादा बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। About half of the world's urban dwellers live in cities of under 500,000 people, and these cities continue to outpace megacities in growth. So, जो छोटी सिटीज या जो नॉर्मल सिटीज में लोग रह रहे हैं वो भी अब बढ़ती जा रही हैं, और ये सिटीज जो है दे आर गोइंग टू आउटपेस। आउटपेस मतलब इनकी जो स्पीड है, जिस हिसाब से सिटीज बढ़ रही हैं और जिस हिसाब से मेगा सिटीज बढ़ रही हैं, तो जो सिटी है, जो अर्बन ड्वेलर्स हैं, ये काफी तेजी से बढ़ रहे हैं एज कंपेयर टू द मेगा सिटीज। While the benefits of developed infrastructure, public transportation system, employment opportunities, better healthcare and education, plus a wide range of services, make cities the place to live, work, and enjoy. They are plagued with enormous problems. तो सेल्फ कॉन्ट्रोडिक्टरी स्टेटमेंट है, कह रहा है कि सिटी में रहने के बहुत अच्छे बेनिफिट्स हैं, ये सारे बेनिफिट्स उसने गिनाए हैं, और वो कह रहा है सिटीज आर द प्लेस टू लिव, वर्क एंड एंजॉय। सिटीज आर परफेक्ट प्लेसेस टू लिव, ठीक है, बट दे आर ऑल्सो प्लेग्ड विथ एनॉर्मस प्रॉब्लम। प्लेग्ड विथ मतलब probably prone to, या I would say suffer from, और सीरियसली सफर फ्रॉम, क्योंकि प्लेग एक बहुत बड़ी महामारी है ना। सो व्हेन द ऑथर इज यूजिंग द वर्ड प्लेग, ही एक्चुअली मीन्स दैट इज अ सीरियस प्रॉब्लम। ऑलराइट, एनॉर्मस मतलब बहुत सारा, abundant, बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स। As engines of growth, cities have also become engines of pollution, traffic congestion, waste production, and environmental destruction. Hello, Papu. Good afternoon. In the 1960s, the concept of urban ecology emerged from the growing awareness of cities' impact on the environment. Now he's coming to his topic. All right, he's talking about urban ecology. In 1975, the non-profit organization Urban Ecology was founded in Berkeley, California, with the purpose of rebuilding cities in balance with nature. So here he is talking about this city, this organization which has a purpose, and the purpose is rebuilding the cities with balance, with nature. तो जो बहुत सारी problems हो रही हैं with large number of people living in urban places. So you can now understand that he is actually now bringing this urban ecology into play. इसका importance क्या है? that it is bringing balance between the benefits of living in a city with not getting into the problems of living in a city. That can be drawn with balance with nature. जब हम नेचर के साथ में बैलेंस करके रहना सीख जाएंगे तब, ठीक है? 1992 Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro established Agenda 21, a plan for the sustainable development of cities. And 2002, 1,200 representatives, including 200 slum dwellers from 80 countries, participated in the first World Urban Forum, making urban ecology and sustainable eco-cities based on environment, economy, education, equity more than just a nice idea. That means more than just being a dream, or better word is utopia. राम मतलब एक इमेजिनेटिव वर्ल्ड जहाँ पे सब चीजें बिल्कुल परफेक्ट हैं, एक नाइस आइडिया, नॉट जस्ट अ नाइस आइडिया, इट कुड बी समथिंग विच इज वेरी वेरी प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल, ठीक है? और ये किसने पॉसिबल किया है? अर्बन इकोलॉजी ने, ठीक? ऑल राइट. Papu, I would suggest that we discuss the passage first and then you can ask me question when we are finished with the reading comprehension. Otherwise, it will be unnecessary disturbing others. All right? Okay, you are Simi. All right. Simi, first let's discuss the passage. The first question. Match each of the following meanings with the corresponding underlined words, phrases in the numbered items below. Reaching a higher position, seriously suffering from, absolute best, something not very practical. ये इसके मीनिंग्स हैं. अब हम देखते हैं जो अंडरलाइंड फ्रेजेस हैं या एक्सप्रेशंस हैं उनका किसके साथ में मैच हो रहा है. Mega cities Mumbai, Delhi, Dhaka and Lagos, which do not yet appear on the top 10 list, are steadily moving up the ladder. तो moving up the ladder का मतलब क्या है? Reaching a higher position. Ladder का मतलब क्या होता है? सीढ़ी. So moving up the ladder मतलब एक एक पायदान ऊपर चढ़ना. So reaching a higher position. तो ए जो है उसका तो हो गया 1. Benefits of developed infrastructure, public transportation system, employment opportunities, better healthcare and education, plus a wide range of services make cities the place to live, work and enjoy. तो यहाँ पर उसने सारे benefits enlist कर दिए हैं. तो इन benefits के साथ में cities क्या हो जाती हैं? Perfect place to live. And hence it is this. So B का आंसर है I think third. They are plagued with enormous problems. तो plagued with का मैंने मीनिंग बताया था आपको, सीरियस प्रॉब्लम होना, कुछ सफरिंग होना, क्योंकि प्लेग एक बीमारी है. तो ऑब्वियसली सी का आंसर इज 2. सो वैसे इनमें से अगर 2 भी आ जाते हैं तो हमारा आंसर ऑटोमेटिकली आ जाता है. ए का 1 है, ये रहा ए का 1, तो ये और ये तो आउटराइटली रिजेक्ट हो गए. बी का 3 है और सी का 2, तो आंसर ऑटोमेटिकली आ गया सी. सो दिस इज द आंसर. ऑलराइट. इट कुड बी वेरी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग. अगर आप सारे के सारे देखते हो, अगर देख सकते हो और क्विकली कर सकते हो, दैट्स वेरी गुड. बट अदरवाइज ऑल्सो यू कैन कट शॉर्ट. जो आपको बिल्कुल पक्के से पता है, जैसे प्लेग का मीनिंग बिल्कुल पक्के से पता है, इट हैज टू बी सफरिंग. सो सी का आंसर 2 होना ही चाहिए. सी का 2 यहाँ पर और यहाँ पर है. ए या बी में से कोई एक अगर हो जाता है आपका, यू वेरी क्विकली गेट इनटू दैट. ऑल राइट. मेगा सिटीज आर क्लासिफाइड अकॉर्डिंग टू. तो मेगा सिटीज उसने कैसे क्लासिफाई किया है देखें जरा. सिटीज को तो उसने पॉपुलेशन के हिसाब से किया है, इस सिटी की इतनी पॉपुलेशन, उस सिटी की इतनी पॉपुलेशन. हाउ अबाउट mega cities. Contrary to common belief, fewer than 10% of urban dwellers are residents of megacities with population of over 10 million. A megacity consists of city proper and its adjoining suburban centers. An example is New York. And then it was sixth largest, 21 megacities. Population of Greater Tokyo is 36.7. Megacities like Mumbai, Delhi, Dhaka, and Lagos. So he is again talking about the population only. He is talking about people only. Let's see. So territorial area, ecological footprint. जीडीपी की तो बात भी नहीं हुई है. See me that summit has not to be explained. Why? Because the question is not about it. All right. In CMAT, you have to focus on question, what the questions are asking. Strictly move to that. These are only examples which are given. You don't have to go into details of it. It would waste our time. All right. Passage solve karte waqt, you have to be very stingy about it. You have to focus on only those things which are helping you to solve the question. All right. So यहाँ पर मेगा सिटीज के ऊपर बात जो हुई है, इट इज इन रेफरेंस टू पॉपुलेशन. जैसे जैसे अर्बन स्प्रॉल बढ़ता है, मतलब जैसे जैसे पॉपुलेशन बढ़ती है, वैसे वैसे वो सिटी जो है वो मेगा सिटी में कन्वर्ट हो रही है. All right, next question. Indicate which of the two statements in the following pairs contain the main idea and which contains the supporting detail. Tokyo is world's largest megacity, or megacities are growing, but not as rapidly as smaller cities. So obviously बात है, जो main point है वो क्या होगा? Main megacities, because that's what the topic is all about. The passage is not about Tokyo. Tokyo is not the main highlight. It is only taken as an example to substantiate his point. All right. And hence, this is the main point, but this is the main, this is the supporting detail or the example. So the answer should be one is supporting detail while the second one is the main point, and hence the answer is B very quickly. What does the phrasal verb let up means in the first sentence? ठीक है, फर्स्ट सेंटेंस देख लेते हैं. ये रहा. Urbanization, the demographic shift from country to city, began with industrialization and it has not let up. तो मैंने ये बताया था जब हमने पैसेज भी पढ़ा था. What do you mean by not let up? That means it has not reduced in its intensity. It is still going on. All right. So, to come to an end, to be less successful, are we here talking about any success of urbanization? No. It is mere the expression of or the term. Urbanization मतलब cities बनते जाना, ठीक है, नगरीकरण होते जाना. Not to be working, to be less strong. So not let up का मतलब होता है to reduce intensity. All right. So to be less strong comes close to. All right. I hope this is clear. देखो, बार बार ये समझ में आ रहा है कि अगर हमें वर्ड्स और एक्सप्रेशंस पढ़ना आता है, हमारी वोकैबुलरी के ऊपर थोड़ी भी पकड़ ठीक ठाक है, तो पैसेज की अंडरस्टैंडिंग में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बिकॉज यू सीन फॉर योरसेल्फ दैट पीवाईक्यूज में भी हर पैसेज में एक या दो क्वेश्चन वोकैबुलरी का ही है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट सीमैट के 20 क्वेश्चंस में 7 to 8 क्वेश्चंस और इवन मोर वोकैबुलरी के ऊपर है. तो अगर तुम्हारा vocab के ऊपर होल्ड अच्छा है और you're working very hard on vocabulary, you can really score very good in CMAT. All right? अच्छा, ये वाली जो vocabulary है ये रीडिंग से ही improve होती है. You cannot ratify the words as such. Mugging up नहीं हो पाता. जिनकी रीडिंग अच्छी है उनकी vocabulary अपने आप अच्छी होती है. But yes, you can do a lot of exercises. Okay, I'll be coming up with sessions with PYQs of CMAT जहां पर मैं vocabulary discuss करूंगी आप लोगों के साथ में. All right. So thank you so much. This is the end of the session. I would say that you shouldn't worry much about English comprehension. As I told you earlier also, it is not that difficult as it is in CAT. CAT में verbal ability थोड़ा challenging होता है, लेकिन CMAT में ऐसा नहीं है. CMAT में ज्यादा फोकस आपको LR के ऊपर और इनोवेशन और entrepreneurship वाला जो सेक्शन है उस पे करना है. लेकिन if you really want to score high, English will help you because 20 questions हैं, 80 marks हैं, and 80 on 80 आप score कर सकते हो in 15 to 17 minutes. If you are putting a little effort every day on reading good stuff, reading good columns of newspapers, ठीक है, you are getting abreast with, keeping abreast with the PYQs. All right, every day solve 20 questions of English. That means vocabulary questions, grammar, parajumble, and reading comprehension. Every day, half an hour to 1 hour of this exercise is going to give you really good score in English. And overall score obviously उससे enhance होगा. ठीक है? So the learning from today is that you should build up your muscles for vocabulary. I would say that CMAT के लिए अगर तुम इतना भी कर लेते हो तो बहुत है. You'll be able to do it very good, nicely in the exam. I am here as your personal coach. I'll be coming with more such sessions so that we can sit together and practice. ठीक है? अभी ग्रामर के ऊपर भी सेशंस लेकर आऊंगी मैं, वोकैबुलरी के ऊपर भी, एंड वील प्रैक्टिस टुगेदर. जैसे हमने आज रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन प्रैक्टिस किया था, बिल्कुल वैसे. ठीक है? आई विल शेयर ऑल माय अप्रोचेस विथ यू. सो टिल देन, इट्स गुड बाय. ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर योर प्रेपरेशन. नमस्ते.